I'm not infertile. I had 2 abortions behind your back because I'd never carry children with your weak, ugly genes, she said after I caught her cheating. So I stopped paying her rent and left. Now she's homeless and alone. Hey, viewers. Before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. People always say the quiet, reliable guy gets the girl in the end. That if you treat her right, stay loyal, and provide stability, she'll love you back just as hard. Those people haven't met Lena. We started dating when I was 28. She was 26, already talking like she was a decade ahead of her age. I want luxury. I'm done with projects. I need a man who can provide. I had just landed a stable job in IT and wasn't flashy, but I was dependable. She liked that, or at least she acted like she did. At first, it felt like a perfect match. She was beautiful, confident, well-dressed, and had that kind of presence that made every room bend around her. I was the guy no one remembered after the party, quiet, glasses, awkward smile, neat haircut. I've worn glasses my whole life. My eyesight's trash without them, but I keep them clean and stylish. Still, from the beginning, she hated them. I swear if you ever got LASIK, you'd actually be hot, she'd joke, laughing like she hadn't just insulted my face. Once, I showed her a photo of my dad and little brother. She looked at it and said, "Your whole family looks like they were manufactured by a prescription drug company." I laughed along. Stupid, right? But I loved her. And I assumed she loved me too. She moved into my place after 6 months. Claimed her old apartment was too loud and unlivable. I didn't ask her to pay rent. She said she needed time to reset, maybe start an online business, maybe go back to school. 2 years passed. She never worked a day. I paid for everything. Rent, food, clothes, skincare, data plans, everything. She didn't say thank you. She just expected it, like that's what real men do. And I played along. She always brushed off conversations about kids. We're not ready. The world is unstable. Maybe after my brand takes off. I figured she just needed time. I even started saving quietly for a future, for a child, a home, something real. But slowly, things shifted. She started going out more without telling me. Started hiding her phone. Taking longer in the bathroom. Smiling at texts and locking the screen before I could see who it was. And I started shrinking. I stopped asking questions. Stopped initiating anything. I kept working, kept paying, kept hoping she'd come back to me. I thought if I just held on long enough, she'd remember who stayed. Then one night, everything snapped. She said she was going to a girls' night. Didn't come home until 3 a.m. When she finally walked in, heels in hand, makeup smeared, hair messy, I was sitting on the couch. The apartment was silent. I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. I just asked, "Were you really with your friends?" She rolled her eyes. "Don't start, Miles. It's exhausting." But I'd seen the Uber receipt on the shared email. Different address. Different part of town. So I said it again, quieter this time. "Were you with your friends?" That's when she smiled, and I'll never forget it. Not guilty. Not scared. Just cruel. She dropped her purse on the floor, kicked off her heels, and looked at me like I was a problem she was too tired to solve. "You want the truth?" she asked, arms folded. "Fine." "No. I wasn't with my friends." I didn't say anything. Just waited. She smiled again, colder this time. "I was with someone who doesn't wear glasses like a 40-year-old accountant. Someone who doesn't breathe like he's allergic to the air. Someone who doesn't need a backup pair just in case his fragile little vision fails. She always hated my glasses. Said they made me look like a nerd. Said if we ever had kids, she'd make sure they didn't inherit my prescription." I thought she was joking. "I met him at the gym," she said casually, like we were gossiping over brunch. "He's younger. He actually lifts. Makes real money. And he doesn't stare at screens all day like a mole." I could feel my hands tightening on the blanket in my lap, but I said nothing. I didn't want to give her the satisfaction. "I gave you 2 years, she continued. 2 years of pretending I was happy. 2 years of watching you bumble around like some beige little husband in training, thinking I'd marry you." I swallowed hard and asked the one question I never thought I'd have to say out loud. "You told me you couldn't get pregnant. You told me we were trying and it just wasn't happening." She tilted her head like she was studying me. Then she smirked, that same smirk from before. "Oh, Miles," she said, like my name was an insult. "I'm not infertile." She walked over to the kitchen, opened the fridge, grabbed a bottle of water, and twisted it open before turning back to me. I had 2 abortions behind your back. Silence. She said it like it was nothing. Like she was telling me she forgot to buy milk. Like how I'd carry children with your weak, ugly genes. You think I want to walk around pushing a stroller full of tiny, squinting mutants with your posture and your panic attacks? I did both of us a favor. I couldn't move. She took a sip of water and added, almost cheerfully, "Oh, and just so we're clear, neither of them were his. They were yours. Congratulations, you were almost a dad." That's when I stood up. Not fast. Not loud. Just done. She raised an eyebrow. "Oh, now you grow a spine." I didn't yell. I didn't hit a wall or throw anything like she probably expected. I just picked up my phone, grabbed my work laptop, and walked to the bedroom. She called after me. "Where are you going?" "What, now you care?" I didn't answer. I packed a bag, grabbed the key fob, and walked out the door without looking back. The next morning, I turned off every card she had access to, stopped paying the rent, took my name off the utilities. She wanted independence? She was about to get it, raw, real, and rent-free. She didn't call. Not right away. I think she expected me to come crawling back. To beg. To apologize for making her feel bad after she admitted to aborting 2 pregnancies behind my back. Maybe she assumed I'd forgive her like I had every time she rolled her eyes at me, mocked my job, or made some passive-aggressive comment about my glasses in front of her friends. But not this time. This time, I vanished. Quietly. Completely. She didn't know where I went. I stayed at a friend's place across town and worked remotely. Changed passwords. Blocked her on everything but email. She broke the silence 5 days later. "You need to come back and talk to me like a man. I'm not doing this petty silence thing with you. You've made your point, but I'm not letting you destroy my life just because you're feeling sorry for yourself." Not once did she say sorry. Not once did she mention the abortions or the things she said about my ugly genes. She didn't regret cheating. She regretted the consequences. But I'd already canceled my rent payments. The lease was in her name. She'd insisted on that once, said it would make her feel like the space was hers too. She didn't make enough to qualify, so I co-signed. And now? The second my money disappeared, the notices started coming in. 1 week. Late fee applied. 2 weeks. Final notice before eviction proceedings begin. She posted vague things on her story, black and white selfies with captions like, "No one ever sees what you go through in silence," and "letting go is hard, but losing yourself is worse." No mention of the real reason she was spiraling. Then came the crash. A mutual friend, Jenna, messaged me out of nowhere. I hadn't talked to her in months. She never really liked Lena, and apparently, that feeling had gone both ways. Jenna sent a series of screenshots from a private group chat between Lena and a few of her influencer friends. He was basically a walking paycheck. I only stayed because I didn't want to work while I figured out my next move. His sperm probably comes with a glasses prescription. The sex was boring, the genes were bad, and I felt like I was sleeping next to a math teacher. I don't even feel bad about the abortions. Like, look at him. You think I want to pass that on? Every word made my stomach twist, and not because I was hurt. I wasn't. I was relieved. Relieved to have the full, unfiltered truth. She had used me, lied to me, degraded me, and now she was losing the life she built on my back. That same night, Jenna messaged me again. FYI, the guy she cheated with? He ghosted her. Told his friends she was clingy and used up. He literally blocked her on everything. Suddenly, Lena didn't have a backup plan. No boyfriend. No income. No one to lean on. She tried to reach out again the next morning. "Can we please just talk?" I was angry. I said things I didn't mean. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. She even tried calling from a new number with no caller ID. I didn't pick up. She made it clear what she thought of me. She made it clear what my love was worth. Now she could find out what her independence was worth without my rent money holding it up. The eviction hit 2 weeks later. Not that she told me. She didn't have to. She broadcasted the whole thing on Instagram like it was a tragic indie film. A black and white selfie. Tear-streaked face. Her sitting on the floor of the empty apartment, arms wrapped around her knees like a forgotten child. The caption? "Sometimes life forces you to let go of everything so you can finally rebuild. I trusted the wrong man. I sacrificed my body, my time, my dreams, and in the end, he abandoned me when I needed him most." I sat there, phone in hand, staring at the screen. Sacrificed her body? She had 2 abortions without telling me. Time. She lived in my apartment for 2 years rent-free. Dreams? The only dream she had was landing a richer boyfriend and never working a day in her life. But I didn't comment. I didn't DM her. I didn't post some expose. I just kept watching the unraveling. At first, her followers poured in with sympathy. "You're so strong, queen. He didn't deserve you anyway." Sending love and light. Then someone commented something different. Just one person. "Didn't you say on your story last month that your boyfriend was still paying your rent?" That cracked the illusion. Another replied, "I thought you said you were focusing on your healing era with your new man?" Then, "How is this about betrayal when you were the one cheating?" The post got flooded in hours. People started pulling receipts. Someone even reposted her old tweet from 6 months ago, the one where she called working women suckers because men are supposed to provide. Suddenly, she wasn't the victim anymore. She was a grifter, an ungrateful, arrogant freeloader who mocked the man keeping her afloat while plotting her escape to a younger wallet. And now she was crying on the floor because no one caught her when she jumped. I didn't need revenge. She did it to herself. A few days later, she locked her account. Jenna messaged me again. She's couch surfing. Burned too many bridges. Her new man won't talk to her. Her ex-friends think she's toxic. Honestly, she's unraveling. She added, "She told someone you abandoned her when she was pregnant. But I told them the truth. I didn't ask for that. But it felt like closure. Let her lie. Let her blame me. Let her twist the story into whatever shape she needs to survive. None of it changes the truth. She mocked me. Used me. Cheated. Then laughed while telling me she'd erased 2 chances at a family behind my back. And now? Now she's sleeping on an air mattress in her cousin's spare room while I enjoy silence for the first time in years. It took her 3 more weeks to break the silence again. This time, she didn't come with insults or fake strength. No more spiritual quotes. No more pretending she was healing. Just desperation. She messaged me from yet another number. "Hey, I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but I really need to talk to you. I messed up. I know that now. I was stupid and selfish. I didn't mean the things I said about your genes. I was just lashing out. Can we please just meet? Just talk? I don't have anyone right now." I stared at the screen for a long time. I wanted to feel something. Pity. Anger. Closure. But there was nothing left. Just quiet. 2 days later, she tried again. This time it was a voice message. She was crying. "I'm not okay, Miles. I lost everything. I don't even know who I am anymore. I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. I was scared of becoming a mom, and I took it out on you. Please, can we talk?" She hesitated, then added, her voice trembling, "I think I might be pregnant again. I don't know if it's his or yours." That was her last card. The Hail Mary. She thought the idea of a child, any child, might pull me back in. But it didn't. Because I knew who she was now. Fully. Finally. She wasn't someone who had made a mistake. She was someone who had made a series of choices, deliberately, cruelly, and without a single ounce of remorse until the consequences showed up at her door. And the truth is, I didn't want to be a father. Just not with someone who would destroy that gift and smile on my face afterward. So I blocked the number. I didn't respond. Didn't listen to the next message. Didn't open the follow-up email. Didn't even think about what she might say next. Because I had already said everything I needed to say the moment I stopped paying her rent and walked away. A month later, I got LASIK. The glasses are gone. So are the insults. So is the apartment filled with her perfume and entitlement. So is the woman who saw me as a placeholder, not a partner. Now I wake up in a quiet apartment that I pay for, eat what I want, and don't flinch every time my phone buzzes. I don't love harder than I'm loved back anymore. I don't beg to be chosen. And sometimes, I catch myself looking in the mirror and laughing. Because in the end, my genes weren't the problem. She was. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button.